AJ Prepper, a mother of two. She says she's prepping to preserve what she has created.
Hi guys, it's AJ. I've been kind of putting off for a little while getting back into my prepping with support videos just because I've been a little aggravated. Not with anything anybody's doing, just with the area itself, I guess. I'm getting a lot of questions about my suggestions on what you should watch and what you should read, and they're good questions. I'm just trying to delve in a lot myself on watching more things and reading more things, and that's kind of what's got me a little aggravated. So after I give you my suggestions, I'm probably going to do my first rant just a little bit. But like I said, I'm not mad at anybody, and I'm not down on anybody in YouTube or any of my subscribers or anything like that. That's, you know, childish. Just kind of mad at the world, I guess, in general, and the way they look at some things. That's kind of got me aggravated. So anyway, first I'm going to give you my suggestions on what I recommend. I'd say this week, but I've been putting this off, so the last couple weeks. So in the last couple of weeks, the book that I have been working really hard, and actually it just took me a few days to read because I couldn't put it down, is called 1 Second After. It is by William R. Forstchen, if I'm pronouncing his name right. And all the information that I give you right now, I am going to put down there in the box. So if I pronounce something wrong or anything like that, you'll know exactly how to spell it. And I'm going to give you a place to go find it if you want, and a couple of suggestions on how to look it up if you don't want to buy it. The book was just enthralling. Like I said, I could not put it down. It is fiction, so as not to scare any readers. It's nothing that really happens, but most of what's in the book I feel really could happen, and it kind of gets your gears turning up here, kind of gets you to thinking, because a lot of things in that book, especially since today we're supposed to get some solar flares going on later on. The book is about an EMP, but it's not really about what happens that causes the problems. It's about the problems itself and what the community goes through. And like I said, I believe a lot of what is said in that book could really happen to most anybody. If you have children, there are children talked about. The main character in the book has 2 daughters, and that's very touching. I have children, so that was very heartfelt for me to hear the man talk about what they were going through. So I think it's a good read, and I think if you are a spouse and you can get your spouse to read something, that would be a wonderful book to get them to read. The closest movie to the last one that I've seen was Contagion. I do think it is a good movie, and I think that everything in that movie was pretty much spot on, except for one thing that happened in the movie. And if you watch that movie, you can send me a PM and say, okay, what did you think wasn't spot on, and I'll tell you. But I'm afraid if I tell you now, it might ruin something for you. And it's not a big thing. It's just one little spot in that movie. I thought, nah, that one little thing wouldn't happen that way. But I still don't want to give anything away. But I think that was a very good movie. There again, I will put it down there. And that way, if I'm saying something wrong, which I'm pretty sure I'm saying the word right, but you know, you never know what I'm doing wrong. I do a lot of things wrong. What else? There is a, well, they call it a full-length movie, I guess, but it was a show that they showed on the History Channel. It was called After Armageddon. And, you know, normally a little History Channel show would be kind of like, yeah, half an hour show or something, but it's an hour and a half long. You can watch it right on YouTube, And if you haven't seen it yet, that is a pretty good little movie. It was kind of spot on too. It wasn't a full-blown entire global thing. From the looks of it, it was more generalized, as in a small part of the world was touched by something, but it was a pretty good movie. It showed a lot of the ways people need to pull together and work together. There again, it showed a lot of things that really could happen, but everything that I've mentioned, entirely fiction. Which leads me to the last thing. People think that preppers are making up scenarios. We are trying to scare ourselves, I guess, for no reason at all. That's what brings me to the last thing I would like to recommend. If you are talking to someone, a loved one, a close friend, whoever you're trying to get on board with you, they're still, teetering. They're still thinking that you're just, I guess, making this up. Tell them to get on and search the word Katrina. I know, as for myself, I don't live anywhere near the ocean. So yeah, I'm probably not going to be a hurricane victim anytime soon. But Mother's Day, I believe it was 1997, 98, I believe 97, my mother and father had 4 feet of water in their home. We do live close to the river. It wiped out pretty much their entire downstairs. It ripped up the foundation in their home. It all had to be replaced. They now have their house 5 feet higher in the air. But, then it was pretty devastating. All my cute little baby pictures, they're gone. Thank goodness, they were awful. But my mother doesn't think so. The baby pictures of my brothers, they can't be replaced. There are some baby pictures that are still around because my grandparents had some, but there are some that we can't get back, and I'd like to have those. Those are my brothers. Things that, Mom and Dad's had since they first got married. Things that were my great-grandmother's. Those things can't come back. Now, nobody starved. I don't believe anybody perished. It wasn't that bad around here, but it could have been. Another foot, and it could have been devastating. I mean, people did lose their homes and their possessions, but it could have been a lot worse. And I could even be wrong saying that nobody perished. I can't. That was years ago, and I have 2 kids, and I have a hard time telling you when I slept last sometimes. So I'm just saying, when they say it can't happen, there's little stories like that everywhere. Another example, right here where I live, not 40 miles probably down the road. A year, I believe, before I was born, bridge collapsed. My grandparents were sitting there waiting to go on that bridge when it collapsed. Several people perished that day. A lot of people lost their lives. No, that's not really shit hitting the fan. I understand that. But these little things could add up to so much more. Katrina, for those people, that day, shit hit the fan. Those families had nowhere else to go. That's one small scenario to us because we weren't there. But if we were there, your lives would have been over that day. You wouldn't have known what to do. There were so many suicides because people didn't know how to handle it. That's what prepping is about, learning how to handle it. You have to be mentally, physically, you just have to be equipped. It's more than putting back food. And that's what brings me to my rant. Laying in bed last night, flipping through the channels, I seen yet another word that keeps popping up. Doomsday. Doomsday preppers, doomsday this. This was doomsday bunkers. Someone is out there engineering doomsday bunkers. Do you want to know how much it costs to live in the life of luxury after the shit hits the fan? This man was having his bunker built with a flat screen TV. Don't really know what the hell he's going to watch. $430,000. Do you know how much food that could buy? What does he think he's going to do? Stuff his family down there and pop his head back out of the sand when he's good and ready? How realistic is that? I'm sorry. I think that's absurd. Maybe I'm wrong. And if you have money like that to waste, it's none of my business to tell you not to. But think of what that money could do. Another man. He lives, I believe it was in a hurricane zone or something like that. He lives at a floodplain, let's say. And he is putting his bunker out in the middle of nowhere, 3.5 hours away from where he lives. If you're going to spend that kind of money to put a bunker out there, why in God's name wouldn't you just build a house out there and relocate? That's a waste of money. Buy preps. Relocate. And you could still save $100,000. What if shit doesn't hit the fan? You just spent your kids' college money. Think smart. You don't know when shit is going to hit the fan. Be prepared for it in the right way. Don't run screaming to the hills and spend every last dime you have. What if the bottom falls out of the stock market tomorrow? You lose your job and you have nothing but your bunker and a big old hole in the ground. Please, prepare your loved ones. Get as much support as you can. But these people that are out there spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to bury themselves in the sand, that's all they're doing. They're burying their heads in the sand. Because their bunker that they have prepared that will survive them, or I'm getting so mad I can't talk, I'm sorry, will sustain them for 6 months. When that 6 months period is over and they pop their head up out of the sand, then what are they going to do? Because they didn't learn to grow food. They can't have any animals. They're living in a bunker. You want to live down there with cows and chickens and pigs? That's going to smell pretty bad. One person even had a bidet put in theirs. I won't even tell you what I think about that. Learn, prepare, store, be smart. And if you don't like me being opinionated, I'm sorry, but get over it, because me being afraid of you not liking me because of me being opinionated, that's just not going to happen. It's not me. I got a big mouth and I try to be polite, but I've just got to tell you, I think those ideas stink. Hug your family. Do the best you can for them. Love each other. Prepare for each other. And try to support each other. But please don't go spend $400,000 just to put a hole in the ground. Knowledge will save you. Stupidity will not. Hopefully I didn't rant too much, and I'm sorry if I came off like a witch. See you next time. Bye.